everyone doing today? Good? Good. Alright, so here's something that's going on. So next week, I on Monday start school again. Woo! So what that might do, it might affect videos. I should be able to still give you your weekly dose of this lovely face. But just so you guys know. So, what I wanted to talk about today is, in light of going back to school and being subjected to different parts of cultural expression, I've been into kind of my more like artistic joys recently, hobbies, and I wanted to share some of them with you on what I've been reading, watching, listening to, and just give you guys some ideas on some things that might spark your interest. So I'm gonna let you guys know on a couple things that I've been watching or reading or listening to, or just stuff that I've been into recently. So without further ado, let's see what I've been doing the past couple months. Woo! So, movies. Recently, actually on Saturday, going into Sunday, I watched, it's a movie called Call Me By Your Name. I am also reading the book. It's a really good romance movie. Drama, romance. It's also like an independent film, like a Sundance Film Festival kind of film. So it's very ethereal and like intimate. Because you know, like with a lot of romance movies, they're always just really fake or superficial, where it's just like, girl walks in and the guy's like, whoa! And the girl's like, I'm so shy and reserved. And then the guy's just like, I'm going to romance you. And then the plot happens, and then like somebody's just like, I love my other lover, or I have to go away. So then they go off. And then at the end of the movie, everything's all better. And they don't get on that flight. And they all live happily ever after. No, actually. A lot of times it's not how love goes. And I think Call Me By Your Name did an amazing job with that. It made a realistic scenario, a lot of what people go through with love. It is an LGBT movie. It does focus on a young boy who's coming to terms with sexuality, but also desire and infatuation for an older man, which is awkward. Kristen even said after the movie, she's like, doesn't matter if you're gay, bi, straight, anywhere. It's a relatable movie just on the premise of love and relationships and how that goes. So, don't judge it just for being a LGBT movie, because it can apply to anybody if you leave yourself open to it. Also, I do recommend the book. It is the book that I am reading currently. I only got about like a quarter of the way through by the time I saw the movie, because the movie is actually going out of theaters tomorrow, so, or at least in my area, but it is worth it to look up. It's a little more erotic as a book, but it's still really good. My sister and I have been watching documentaries on Netflix about La Madrina, the cocaine godmother. The story of that is actually really cool. If you're into like Narcos or anything pertaining to like the drug trade in the US in like the 80s. They're really good documentaries. What else am I watching? I don't watch anything. I watch YouTube. Call Me By Your Name for romance, drama, tear-jerking. I cried twice. Comedy. The most recent comedy that I fell in love with was Jumanji, because it took itself, it used the namesake and one Easter egg in reference to the old one, and then completely made a completely different movie. I don't know if it's just because I haven't seen Jack Black especially, or like Kevin Hart in a movie recently, but they are funny. I think it's still in theaters. I'm also just really excited for like Marvel movies like Black Panther to come out. Books! Alright, I already told you, yes, reading Call Me By Your Name. The other recent books that I read have been Animal Farm by George Orwell and The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. Animal Farm is a very interesting book. It's a very good social commentary because it still applies to today. Curious Incident is definitely more of a story narrative instead of being kind of more reflective of society, I guess. Especially being an English major, going into next week, I'm trying to finish Call Me By Your Name before the semester starts because I know I'm not going to be able to read for fun for quite some time. Although, I also need to read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda before March when the movie comes out. Songs! Yeah! To be fair, recently I've been in a musical kick, mainly because me and my friend are actually going to see Waitress, the musical, in about like 3 weeks, so I'm kind of getting more into the musical mood again. I recently have got back into Childish Gambino. Interesting one. If you know like Fleet Foxes or like Iron and Wine, I suggest them, City and Color. Sufjan Stevens did the soundtrack for Call Me By Your Name, the movie, and just, it's like a Bon Iver kind of thing too, if you're familiar with any of those, I would give them all a listen. But just like that indie, like, kind of foggy, but like natural feel of music is very just I'm also into a lot of chill stuff. Eden, or the Eden Project. He started with Eden Project, went to Eden. Really amazing. They have videos of his stuff on YouTube under Koala Control, that channel. Definitely check that out if you want to get into a different genre, because chill stuff's really, really good. That's what I've been into recently. Most of the stuff is kind of off the beaten track of most contemporary stuff, but I really hope you give it a listen. If you guys end up like reading, watching, listening to any of the stuff, leave it in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions of it too. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave comments below, hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Hello, and next week I start school, so that'll be oodles of fun. I still have to get all my books and notebooks and pencils and actually pay my bill. So, until then, be awesome out there, learn stuff, get into something new, and I will see you next week. See ya!